All right, let's take a drive through a little-known part of automotive history, the fascinating saga of electric cars before Tesla. Now, if you think electric cars are a modern invention, think again. Their story actually begins way back in the early 1800s, long before Elon Musk was a household name. Back then, inventors across Europe were experimenting with clunky batteries and primitive motors. In fact, the very first small-scale electric carriages were trundling along before gasoline engines even caught on. Fast forward to the late 19th century, cities like London and New York had electric taxis zipping around their streets, quietly outpacing the dirty, noisy steam and gas vehicles of the time. In 1899, an electric car called La Jamais Contente even broke the 100 km/h speed barrier. Imagine that, a century before Tesla's insane acceleration. So why did electric cars fade away? Well, it mostly came down to a few breakthroughs, some good, some not so good. When Henry Ford introduced the mass-produced Model T, gasoline became cheap and easy. Suddenly, those fussy electric cars with their limited range and long charging times couldn't keep up. Add in the discovery of vast oil reserves, and by the 1920s, electric vehicles were nearly extinct. But here's the twist: people never stopped trying. In the 1940s, World War II caused a gasoline shortage, and electric trucks made a comeback in Europe. Then, in the 60s and 70s, growing worries about pollution sparked another wave of electric prototypes. Some were downright quirky, like the bubble-shaped Enfield 8000 from the UK, or America's wedge-shaped city car. Most fizzled out, but each one nudged the technology forward, bit by bit. Behind these efforts were inventors you might never have heard of, like Thomas Parker, who electrified London's first public transport, or Victor Wook, who built one of the first hybrid cars in the 1970s. They rarely got the glory, but their experiments paved the way for what came next. Of course, the real game-changer was the development of better batteries. By the 1990s, companies like General Motors dipped their toes in with the EV1, sleek, silent, and way ahead of its time. But despite a small cult following, even the EV1 was quietly pulled from the market, ending up as another forgotten chapter. It wasn't until the early 2000s that improved lithium-ion batteries and some bold thinking set off the real electric revolution. That's when Tesla picked up the torch, but let's not forget, they were standing on the shoulders of those early pioneers. So next time you see a sleek electric car whirring by, remember, it's more than just modern tech. It's the result of 2 centuries of wild ideas, spectacular failures, and a few brave inventors who dreamed of a cleaner, quieter ride. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the forgotten highways of automotive history. Until next time, keep your curiosity fully charged.